watching Made in Korea season 2 entirely for more of this situation. I finished watching season 1 of Made in Korea. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna preface this by saying political thrillers really aren't my genre. They are oftentimes lacking emotion, lacking character development, very focused on plot, very cold. And this very much was that. It was very plot driven. You don't get a lot of the characters' internal lives. You don't really feel like you know them. That's just not my preferred type of storytelling. Having said that, I do think it was well made. It looked beautiful. The actors were fantastic. And I thought the beginning of every episode and the end of every episode was pretty good. It was the middles. It was the middles of the episode. I was just kind of bored a lot of times for like the middle 30 minutes of each episode. It takes a lot to get me interested in scenes where men are in rooms talking about drugs and money and power and hierarchy and all that kind of stuff. The character stuff that is here, I am interested in. Like I said, I'm gonna be sticking around for season 2 because I'm interested in Uro Hwan's character. I think the tension between him and his brother is interesting. This character who is upright and wants to succeed on his own. And then his brother who is succeeding in the most shady way possible. Like I said, the character stuff that is there I like. I like knowing that he was responsible for his family from a very young age, that he was doing whatever he could to get by, that he's like smart enough to go up in these ranks and figure out a way to do these illegal things in order to become powerful and make money. Same with him, the sort of thin amount of character stuff we have, I do find interesting. Seeing his family's flashback, which was the start of an episode, one of the most interesting scenes of the whole series, and how that has turned him into this very upright prosecutor who wants to do things by the book, and he kind of just gets outwitted at every turn. Not even necessarily outwitted, outpowered. And then he gets back into the stuff I'm not really interested in, which is the like power structures and the hierarchy and people going after power. If a narrative is about men seeking power, there's a good chance that story's just not for me. So yeah, subjectively, not super for me, but if you like a political thriller, if you like any of these actors, you might really like this. More objectively, I do think the pacing is off. I do think, like I said, the start and end of every episode is well paced, and then the middle kind of just like flounders a bit. Oh, and also somebody in my initial impressions video said that you need to know Korean history to like appreciate this. I disagree with that like 100%. This show spoon feeds you context. It literally explains in voiceover when we are, what's going on, how different countries feel about what's going on. It feels like they went out of their way to make sure that people who didn't know the history would be grounded in the history before the story started moving. So even if you don't know anything about Korea in this time, but you like a political thriller, you might really like this. Did you watch it? What were your thoughts? Let me know. I would love to chat further.